Mr. Ankit Majetia has been an entrepreneur since the school days. He started off by helping his dad in his retail business. He learned the nuances of business along with learning entrepreneurship and running a part time business during college days. He completed his post graduation in marketing in 2014 from SIMSR Mumbai University.
After working for close to 7 years with corporates in various departments, right from marketing, sales, and operations, he started his full time business in 2012. He realized his dream of becoming an entrepreneur and worked with brands where he can make a difference in the lives of people and the brands that he worked for.
His digital agency Hangover Media has since inception worked for close to 200 plus brands from 20 plus different industries. Hangover Media is an award winning agency, winning awards like Best Emerging Company 2020 in Creative Agency category and Brand Impact Award for their excellence in creativity in marketing and many more.
Mr. Ankit Majetia loves to read about startups, new technologies, and new business ideas. He believes in solving problems rather than just providing basic services. He loves working with brands where he can make a difference by adding value to them along with helping them reach their business goals.
We are sure that you guys would be greatly enthralled with this topic, zero budget marketing, after this talk. We request the participants to post their queries in the chat box. We will take those questions at the end of the session. Now, I request Ankit Majetia sir to address us.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good
I
evening.
hope I'll be able to meet your expectations and help you in some kind of getting some kind of knowledge on zero budget marketing with whatever I have learned throughout the years. Yeah, I think Thiagarajan sir before me has set a very good benchmark, and he's taken us through crisis management in entrepreneurship. I think we all have seen the importance of crisis management during the last year's pandemic that we faced, right? And it becomes all the more important for us to learn the hacks of marketing with minimum or zero budget that we as startups or entrepreneurs always have, right? So I think taking the cue from Thiagarajan sir of crisis management, I will continue with zero budget marketing or very low budget marketing and just try and broaden the horizon there. Can we get started? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'll share my screen right away with the presentation. Just a moment. I hope I'm audible perfectly fine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Okay, is my screen and the presentation visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
All right. So I'll quickly get started with the main topic of today, that is zero budget marketing. So first, let us see what is marketing. So I understand marketing is a broader umbrella, which covers literally everything that a business has to do to sustain and grow and achieve their business goals. It covers everything right from branding to doing a lot of events, advertising, promotions, market research, having online presence with websites, social media, doing right kind of partnerships, collaborating with influencers, and in today's time, doing a lot of PR activities is also essential with marketing. So now let us see why we should do marketing, right? Agar if we have started business, what is the need for doing marketing? So what I understand is I have put it here. Marketing is a task, and it is the most important task of a business. And what it does to business is it creates or it builds trust for a business or for an entrepreneur. It helps us create awareness about our business, about our product, about the services that we are offering. Yeah. Next being, it helps us increase our sales. So after we have created awareness, the next is it helps us increase sales and help us achieve our targets that we have for our business. And lastly, if marketing is done in the right way, it will kill the competition. And that is what we all as entrepreneurs want, that there shouldn't be any competition and we should get the maximum part of the product that the market share that a product has, right? So why marketing? You have to remember it is a task. to build trust, create awareness, increase sales, and kill competition. Yeah. Moving ahead, what are the different types of marketing? So all the marketing experts will have different answers for this. And yes, practically or theoretically, there are different answers. There is ATL, there are BTL marketing medias. But for us as entrepreneurs, I'll just differentiate that into two parts. One is online marketing and one is offline marketing, and give you tips and tricks between in both of these, online and offline. Yeah. So as we get started with the main topic of today, is marketing really possible with zero budget? So the answer to this can be yes and no, and it depends upon at what stage your company actually is, right? So if your company or if you're just starting up as a startup founder, yes, zero budget marketing is definitely possible. But if you take an example of a very established brand, definitely they will spend lots of money, lots of millions of dollars on marketing. So yes, for us startup entrepreneurs, zero budget marketing or very low budget marketing is possible. And let's see and let's deep dive into it of how we can do it. So there are three most important elements of marketing. And I think these are the three steps that we should follow when we start a marketing. First is having a targeted audience. Without having a targeted audience, I think doing marketing is like hitting in the dark. You should first identify who is the right customer for you, who is going to use your end product. It can be, even if you have a very simple and a common product, like a soap or a very day-to-day or a pen or a pencil, still having the right targeted audience is most essential. Yeah. Next is creating the content for marketing. By creating the content, I mean, it can be the copy, the headlines, the design, the videos or GIFs or design for a newspaper ad, whatever you have to create that content. And the next part is distribution. So how are you going to distribute? So you have to strategize as an entrepreneur. You have to strategize these three important elements. That is targeting the right audience, creating the right content for that audience, and see that your message reaches to that audience in the most cost-effective way, or as we are today going to learn in the at zero budgets, yeah, or at zero costs. So let's see how we can do that. Let me quickly take you first through offline marketing hacks. First is going to be your own salesman. So as a startup founder or a startup entrepreneur, if you cannot sell your product, no one else will be able to do that. So you have to set the right sales pitch for your product. Otherwise, if you just start a company and if you just hire a bunch of salespeople to do the sales or the marketing part of it, your product or your service is going to be just another Me Too product. But if you develop a sales pitch which is going to be unique and which will make your product unique and differentiate in a very cluttered market, then you have to be first the best salesman of your company and you have to get started with it. Second is visiting networking events. So when I started as an entrepreneur, I visited a lot of networking events. There are a lot of organizations who organize many meetups. So not during this pandemic, but before that, there were a lot of meetups that were organized by many entrepreneurial institutions. Like one of them is TIE, that is the Indus Entrepreneur. Then there's one called as BNI. There's one called as Your Story or NASCOM. All of them organizes a lot of networking events, educational events for entrepreneurs, for startup founders, so that they get the right knowledge and move in the right direction to achieve their business goals. So visit those networking events, talk to your target customers in the right way, and try and not sell, but try and convince them or show them the value of your product is what I would say. Yeah. Next would be word of mouth publicity. So if I'm going faster, you guys can tell me and I can slow down, yeah? Because I am presenting and I cannot see all of you on the screen. Yeah, can anyone just acknowledge?
It's going in a proper pace, sir.
Proper? Yeah, perfect.
Please continue. Okay. Yes, sir.
Sure. So the next is word of mouth publicity. So your product has to be so good that once anyone just purchases, he has to recommend. So here, let me just give you an example of a chocolate. If you all must have had, that was Pulse. Yeah, Pulse was a chocolate that they never advertised, and it became the number one selling product of that brand, but with zero marketing. It was just that someone had it and then he recommended it to his friends that if you have had Pulse, if you've not had Pulse, you have not had a chocolate in your life. So that was the kind of buzz that they created around the brand. Yeah, Pulse was that tangy flavored small chocolate paper that we used to get it at a local store. The value of the product just 50 paise or 1 rupee, but the value that it created for the organization or for the company, it was enormous, and that too in a very short span of time. So word of mouth, I think, is most essential, and so your product, your service, or your after sales has to be excellent to deliver the excellent word of mouth publicity or referral based business is what I would say. Next is when you start up, right? Try and get salespeople if your product or if your service is sales oriented or very sales heavy marketing strategy you've kept. So try and hire sales team, because if you when you start up, you cannot afford to hire a big sales team with hefty salaries. But see, you'll get freelancers, who can work for you on a commission basis. So you don't need to pay them a fixed monthly salary. But yes, you can pay them on the sales that they get, which will also motivate them to do better and better every day. And plus, you save on the fixed cost, which is, I think, most essential for us as entrepreneurs when we begin. Yeah. Next, collaboration with influencers. In offline marketing, yes, influencers play a very vital role, especially if your product is of experience. So if you're selling experience, influencers play a very vital role. So you can just collaborate with them with zero cost, actually. Not very big not very big influencers, but yes, there are many micro influencers who have who've come very prominent in this digital age, and everyone is trying to create content around their niche. So you just have to find the right influencer in your industry, in your product or services industry, and try and have some kind of collaboration wherein they can promote your product. Yeah, they can show the experience of your product, and that is how you're going to get good sales. Next is build your community. Yes, building a community around your product is very essential. Just to give you an example, if you have a startup in, say, health sector, and if you are selling healthy food products, so building a community would be like having a group of people who meet at a garden or a park in the morning during jogging hours. You build a community, show them your product, get them to taste your product, talk about your product in their network, so they can also act as your influencers in their own network, in their own family groups or friends group that they have. Yeah. Next, moving to marketing hacks, which will be online, how we can, get our businesses online. So pandemic has taught us one thing, that if your business is not online, your business is not existing in this current stage, right? So anyone and everyone who starts a business has to get his business online, and there are different ways you can do it. There are different strategies that you can apply for online marketing or having your online presence. So let us see them one by one. First is having a website. So any business nowadays, we all are so much time on the device, on the handheld devices or on the internet, that anything or everything that we need, we just first go to Google, right? Anything that you want to buy, or any service that you want to buy, or you want to go for a haircut, or if you want to service your cars, or if you want to get a good dress, you first go and Google the best person that you can find in your vicinity, or if you want to find a good restaurant. Yeah, you first go on Google, search the place, look at the reviews if they are positive, and if you like, and if it fits in your so-called expectations, then you go ahead and buy the product. So having a website is most essential, because Google won't show results if you don't have a website, right? Second is start doing SEO. So SEO is basically search engine optimization. So what is Google? Google is search engine, as we all know, right? Whatever we want to search for, we go on Google, and Google has all the answers in the world, correct? So how does SEO works? So basically SEO works on 200 plus different parameters that Google has set. But to start off with, it scans the content on your website, on your blog, on your Facebook, right? So you have to have SEO friendly content on your website. You have to implement a lot of keywords on your website, and mind it, yes, SEO is a little tricky. SEO is a long-term game. So SEO is not an instant deliverable marketing technique. Yeah, SEO is like an Ayurvedic medicine, right? So it will give you results in long term, but the results are going to be consistent and results are going to be excellent in long term. So doing SEO, how to do SEO, you will get a lot of videos again on YouTube or anything you search on Google. There are many free courses available on Udemy and a lot of other websites. Learn about SEO, learn about the basics of SEO and try and implement them on your website. Yeah. Moving ahead, next is strategize your email marketing. So again, for email marketing, there are lots of different tools, free tools available by which you can do email marketing. If you have the right kind of data of the customers that you're targeting, you can even send emails with your basic Google account. Yeah, just make sure that you don't get blocked because there are various hacks that happen there. And there are many free tools. I was talking about free tools. One of them is MailChimp that you all must have known. Then there's HubSpot or there is Benchmark emails by which you can send limited number of emails to start off with for free. But yes, as a startup entrepreneur, we don't have big budgets. We don't have big databases of customers. So I think that is a good way to start your email marketing campaigns so that you are reaching to your target audiences from all the from everywhere. I mean the 360 degrees, from online, offline, and on all different mediums, like on social media, on emails, yeah, or on Google or through website. Yeah. Moving ahead, write blogs. So blogs helps you for SEO. Blogs helps you for creating a brand of your own. I mean the personal brand for the entrepreneur and also plus for the product or service that you're selling. So writing blogs on your own website or writing blogs on other media websites as a guest blogger or calling guest bloggers on your website to write articles, right, about your product, which will give visibility to your brand, your product or service, and ultimately it is going to help you in your marketing activities. Be active on social media. In today's world, whatever product or service that you're offering, if you're not active on social media, you are probably not doing anything or any kind of marketing activities. So being active on social media, we all know that, and you all as students have been doing a lot of activities on social media, calling guests like me, Thiagarajan sir, searching our LinkedIn profiles, calling us for chats, calling us for webinars, live sessions, because you are active on social media and and we are also active on social media promoting different kinds of services and expertise that we have. So being active on social media helps in all different ways. And it is free. Content creation, there are different kind of tools that are available. Like many of you must be using Canva or video creation tools like Dribbble and Doodly. Yeah, so these tools, many of the tools are free. So you can create the content, you can distribute the content on social media for free to a limited extent. Yes, if you want to reach a larger audience, obviously there is going to be a cost involved, but to a limited audience you can reach through various ways. One of them is having your presence in different groups. So Facebook, if you all might know, has different groups of different niche, like there are different groups of different regions or startup groups or various product groups or local area groups which are there. So you can promote your products through these groups, which doesn't have a cost again. So for a better organic reach, as we say in social media, there are two kinds of reach. One is organic and one is paid. So to as entrepreneurs, or if you want to do very low budget marketing, we all look for organic reach, right? So this is the way by which you can reach to different larger audiences, is through groups and various other broadcasting channels on social media. Next is make videos. So as I told you in the very first slide of the first marketing hack, is you have to be the best salesman that you can be of your company. And that involves creating any kind of content, be it videos, be it blogs. Yes, because videos on YouTube are also shown in the search results on Google. So create videos, create explainer videos about your products or about your services or about how different you are or about how how you are creating values in the lives of your customers, yeah, or how you're adding value in the lives of your customers if you have a very special product or a very niche product. So create videos, because videos are in the current scenario, videos are the most engaging medium of content that we have, apart from the GIFs or static images that we create. Videos are the most engaging because you interact with the video, you connect with the person that you see in the video, and if you find find it helpful, you are definitely going to stay connected with their brand, with that brand, for a longer time. Yeah. So video creation, again, it doesn't take a lot of money. So you can, nowadays there are very good cameras in the cell phones that we use, right? So you can create content from your cell phones. You can edit. There are various free softwares available in your cell phone itself to edit videos to a good quality, record your sound, and just post it on YouTube with a good content. Yeah. Next, yes, this is most important. Get positive customer reviews. So what we do if we want to, on a weekend, if we want to visit a new restaurant, what do we do? Where do we go? We either go on Google or we either go on Zomato, right? Zomato is like a Google for restaurants, correct? So having positive reviews about your product, about your business, or about the service that you're providing is most essential, and that is what is going to attract new customers to your business. So try and get more and more positive reviews. That is what is going to help you in the initial stages. Once your brand is set, once your brand is set, you don't frequently need those positive reviews. But yes, at the very beginning, getting positive reviews about your product is most essential, and on all the mediums. Like I said, it can be Google, or it can be Zomato, or it can be any website related to your trade. Like there are many other websites like tradeindia.com if it is a B2B business, yeah, or indiamart.com. So any website which is related to your industry, where people come and search for your kind of businesses or your kind of products and services, you need to have good positive reviews. And yes, positive reviews don't you don't get charged for positive reviews. You just need to deliver the best product and the best service. Correct? Next is, again, for online, collaborate with micro influencers. In pandemic, we all were sitting at home. We all were creating content. We all were adding more and more followers on our social media handles like Facebook or Instagram. And there are birth of a lot of micro influencers that has happened during the lockdown, and people have chosen their niche. Like someone has become a food blogger, someone has become a lifestyle blogger. They talk about many lifestyle products. So you need to select the right kind of micro influencer that you want to collaborate with, and get them to talk about your brand, about your product. Yeah. So I think these were some of the hacks that I was going to talk about. And yes, again, create your online community, the last point. As we created the offline community, creating an online community is also essential. How can you create an online community? Again, have your own group of your brand, of the product or the services that you're selling. Have a WhatsApp group of your brand where you can send regular updates about your product. Like I'm connected to Your Story Media through a WhatsApp group. So, media companies sending you information on WhatsApp frequently about the news, about the startups, about the entrepreneurs, about funding, whatever it is, getting delivered to you on your WhatsApp. And we are in their online community. If they want to push through any product or service that they have started new, it is just easy for them at just a click away. Yeah. So again, having an online community is most essential. Yeah. So with this, I end my presentation, and I want to leave you with a very positive note. One is, marketing is just not a function. It is the whole business seen from the customer's point of view, is what our great Peter Drucker, the marketing guru, has said.
Moving ahead, we have another question with us, which is asked by Ms. Harshita. She wants to know what a good SEO and website should have to be at the top page of Google search.
Very good question, but I think this webinar won't allow us to answer that in detail. But yes, I will answer that in very short. One is, as I mentioned even during my presentation, that Google has more than 200 parameters with the help of which it lists the website on the top in Google search, yeah, which is the organic search. So if you want to reach in the top 2 results, and if you have budgets, you can reach it with paid ads. But if you want to reach with organic results, there are a lot of parameters. One of them is updating content regularly, updating relevant content with the right keywords and with the right meta tags in your blogs, on your website, is I think should be the first thing to do if you want to start with SEO and start with having your website shown in the top results on Google. Then there are a lot of technical things that you have to do. There's on-page optimization, there's off-page optimization. But yes, as I said, this webinar won't allow us to answer that in detail. But 2 things. One is update your content on the website or blog regularly and include the right keywords targeted towards your targeted audience. Simple.
Thank you, sir, for the engrossing answer. Moving on to the next question, which is asked by Mr. Aditya. He wants to know how to generate a potential customer database, how to get potential customers' email.
So yes, I understand you want to do email marketing or you want to reach the right customer. As I mentioned, targeting the audience, targeting the right audience for any startup is essential. So where do you get the database from? So one is, I understand if you are looking at offline mediums, just take a pen and paper, go in a public place, showcase your product, take feedback from people, and then take their data. If they would require, if they would, if they are okay to receive your marketing emails, yeah, or give them some kind of a scheme or give them some kind of a freebie to get their data, get them to fill the forms. Most of us, who have visited malls frequently, there are people standing at near the staircase or near the entry place. They'll tell, okay, there's a free holiday voucher for you. Yeah, just give us your details and we will mail you the voucher. So what are they doing? They are giving you a holiday voucher. They'll ask you to come to their place, but right now they are taking your data. Right now they are taking your mobile phone number. They are taking your email ID. They'll probably ask for the area that you live into. So accordingly, they can target you. Yeah. So this is one way to do it when you want to do it offline. The other way, if you want to do it online, is there are a lot of ways. One is by creating Google Forms and sending some kind of data that your audience will be interested into looking at, like giving 10 hacks to do SEO. Yeah. So you can send them a PDF copy, but you will get the PDF copy only if you fill up this form. You must have come across these kind of forms, right, on any website that you visit. So what they are doing, they are collecting the data. One is that if you are doing paid ads, there are various ways by which you can do paid advertising and do lead generation, where you get mobile numbers, email IDs of your target customers.
Thank you,
Actually,
sir.
I have the question related to this. Like many of the websites will be selling the data which we enter. Mm-hmm. So like buying that data from other websites, or we selling the data which we have gathered, is that a good practice according to you? Like,
again, depends upon from whom you are taking it or to whom you are selling it. Ideally, I would suggest not go for such data because you don't know the authenticity. If it is coming from a trusted source, that is okay. But if you don't know the person, if you don't know the brand that you're taking the data from, don't go for it, because your targeted audience might be different. Their targeted audience might be different from for the reason why they have collected the data. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
And ideally, I would suggest, if you as a brand have collected your customers' data, I would say don't sell it to anyone, because until and unless your business is selling data, don't sell your customers' data, because that is like stabbing your customer in the back. Because on one side you are telling your customer that we will not spam you. So you are saying we will not spam you with our emails, but then you are selling the data of the customer and then giving it to another marketer who is going to market them. So I would suggest not go for it.
Yeah, that was actually a thoughtful answer. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we have another query asked by Suman Kumar. He
Yeah.
says a controversy had caused tremendous effect on Snapdeal. Controversy or negative publicity impacts a lot. What would
Yeah.
be your suggestions to prevent these things?
So it depends upon what kind of controversy is it, because I don't know what instance is he talking about. If you can throw more light about the instance that he's talking about, I can explain. But yes, negative publicity also it helps, because in the end the word is publicity, right? And as a business, we want the publicity which helps us get sales, be it positive, be it negative. But yes, we should avoid negative. But yes, in any way it comes, let's just take it. So recent example, if any one of you must have seen, it was by Burger King UK. So Burger King UK put up a tweet on their UK Twitter account saying that women only belong in the kitchen. Yeah. And but the other tweet which was there below, which mentioned that they are coming up with a culinary course or a master class to teach women how to be professional chef. But their first tweet was very negative, which got them enormous negative publicity, and they ultimately had to take that tweet down.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with your answer. Sir, Ms. Travalika wants to know what would be your suggestions, what suggestions you can give to her, which can help us in starting phase of startup.
You're talking about marketing.
Yes, sir.
So it completely depends upon what kind of business you are into, right? So you can be in a B2B business, you can be in a B2C business, you can be a social business who is like a not for profit. But yes, you want to do marketing so that you can reach the right kind of customers that you want to target. So I would suggest, firstly, have an online presence. It is the most essential thing, right? The day you start business, have your online presence ready, your basic website. I think I don't know if I spoke this about in my presentation. Websites nowadays can be made for free, right? Literally free. So there are many free tools. Some of them are, on Google you can make a free website. Even GoDaddy allows you to make a free website if you buy a domain from them. Or there is Wix, Wix, where you can make a free website. There are also many tools by which you can make an e-commerce website for free. So firstly, have an website built, have your social media handles in place, start putting up message across on your online channels, on Google, on any kind of social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, whichever medium that you're targeting. So again, choosing the right kind of medium is also essential. So if you are a B2B business, being present on LinkedIn is going to be important than on Instagram. And if you are in B2C business, being present on Instagram is going to be most crucial than on LinkedIn. So the first step is going to be choosing your target audience, choosing your target market, and then having your presence in those markets.
Thank you, sir. It was really thoughtful. Moving ahead, Mr. Lalitaditya wants to know what can we do to create growth on a budget after drastic fall of share value of company?
Drastic fall of share value. So firstly, if the company is listed and they have a share value, I think they have enormous budgets, right? And then it depends upon completely. I think doing a marketing campaign with a social message, I think would help, is what I could say only with the limited information that I've got. It also completely depends upon what made the share value drop. Like a recent example, if you can take of this, I don't remember the name of the oil brand. If you remember, whose brand ambassador was Saurav Ganguly. Yeah. So Saurav Ganguly was endorsing this healthy oil brand, and he himself got a heart attack. I think it was 1 month or 2 months back. Yeah. So which made the negative publicity come towards this brand, because Saurav Ganguly, his mid-age, was promoting this brand, but he himself got a heart attack. So they came up with a new brand campaign wherein he was talking about that this heart attack was not due to the oil that he consumed, but it was due to some other issues that he had. Or I think I don't remember exactly what he said, but yes, you have to come up with some social cause if possible.
Thank you, sir. It was really well-informed answer. Having one last question, we want to know which influencers should we approach for marketing?
again, my answer would be same for this. It will completely depend upon what is your product, what is your service, what niche you are catering to, and then you have to find your influencers. As I've also mentioned during my presentation, that influencers are of various types. There are lifestyle influencers and bloggers. There are food influencers. There are travel influencers. Then there are influencers that that promotes each and every product that gives them some kind of or the brand gives them any kind of money. So I think we should avoid those kind of influencers, but uh, target the influencers which are in your brands or your products niche. And I think it is very easy on Instagram. If you go in the search bar and search for those influencers, you will get one influencer, and from his profile, his or her profile, you will find related influencers whom you can target. Just go there, go to their profile, send them a message about your brand, talk to them about your brand. And I think we have done some wonderful collaborations with this for one of our clients.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable answer.
Thank you, sir, for answering all our questions patiently and for making
Thank
this
you.
event a super successful one. We are happy that we got a clear idea about the topic. Hope that we'll have such opportunities to connect with you even in the future.
For sure, for sure. The pleasure was all mine. I hope I was able to answer all your queries. If there's anything, if you get more questions on the live sessions or on the Google form or anywhere, you can send them to me in email, and I'll try and answer all of them.
Sure, sir.
Sure. So are we done?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so
Have a
much,
nice day.
sir.
Bye.
At this very moment, I would like to share a famous quote by Antonio Brown, which says, "Journey is never ending. There's always gonna be growth, improvement, adversity. You just got to take it all in and do what's right. Continue to grow, continue to live in the moment."
Thank you are the two words to express our gratitude. We firstly thank Ankit Majetia sir and Tyagarajan sir for their presence in today's event and giving us the opportunity to interact with them. Also, we thank everyone for being such a wonderful audience who participated enthusiastically throughout the session and kept the entire duration interactive. Also, we request the participants to fill the feedback form available in the chat window.
We thank Honorable Director Professor CSP Rao sir for his constant encouragement and endless support to conduct these events. We also express our gratitude towards Associate Dean of Student Affairs, Dr. Viresh Kumar sir, for giving us this opportunity. We thank Dr. Soumya Jose ma'am for her guidance. Also, we thank Dr. Premlata ma'am, Faculty Advisor of E&I Cell, for being the backbone of this cell.
Last but not least, we thank all the ENI cell members who worked really hard to make this event success. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and for latest updates, check our Instagram page. Thank you one and all.